As you know, that majority of people who are in need of assistive products cannot access those. So as WHO estimated in the beginning of this initiative that only 1 in 10 have access to assistive technology. So to improve access to assistive technology for everyone, everywhere, and to follow the mandate of Article 32 on global cooperation of the Convention on the Rights for Persons with Disabilities, WHO has taken this GATE initiative, which is Global Cooperation on Assistive Technology. And we nickname it GATE because it also opens the gate from exclusion to inclusion, from being as mere beneficiaries to a productive member of the society, to live with the quality of life and dignity, realizing rights. So it opens the whole gate of the new opportunities for people who are in need of such devices or such products. And when we developed this GATE initiative, we realized that we need to bring all different stakeholders responsible for provision, developing, including the users of assistive technology together in one platform to create a common voice, because this sector is traditionally is neglected sector, and neglected sector can only become an area of attention if all the marginalized or neglected groups talk together and have a one common goal and common message. And we also realize that WHO alone cannot do this job. Such a huge work is needed to ensure universal access to assistive technology. Uh, Hence, WHO decided to develop this global cooperation on assistive technology to get everybody engaged in this process towards a common goal, is improving access for everyone, everywhere. Now, as I said, that WHO alone is not good enough considering the need. And different stakeholders has different strength. For example, users can do the advocacy better. Organizations like WHO can do the policy influencing UN better. But organizations like GATO, which is Global Alliance of Assistive Technology Organization, they can do many things which we cannot do. Or they can, means GATO can do much better than what we can do, especially through your national or regional member societies, and especially with your experience on the research and evidence, you can provide the necessary scientific background and knowledge which is required to influence the policy, to influence the better delivery system, to influence the better product creation and service delivery. So that's where we need the organizations like GATO, and especially we have seen that over the years, this sector, when the assistive technology professionals organizations are not developed everywhere. It was mostly in Latin America and Europe, especially in high income countries. But need of assistive technology is everywhere. And we saw that there's a huge gap. Even in Europe, there's a gap between Western Europe and Eastern Europe, or gap between Asia and Europe, or even in Africa and Europe, or within Asia, even you see the gap between India, Bangladesh, and Japan and Korea. So what we are trying to see that how GATO with its member societies either through twinning mechanism or some other way, they can influence to develop similar organization across the world. We named it GATO. Thank you for making it global alliance, but we have to really make it global, right? If you keep it only in Europe or North America, it's not a global. So this is the challenge for you. This is the challenge for all of us, that how we can really make it a global. How can we engage everyone in this movement? What I want to see that, like the movement of, like everybody is talking about vaccine for COVID, right? Because there's a sheer need, there's a huge opportunities and all this. So we want to see there is a similar cry comes from the market, comes from the people in need, so that assistive technology becomes a similar hot topic, which could be in the politicians' agenda, which will be the stakeholders, all the stakeholders' agenda. And what we also like to see that changing the game, people have very common perception that is just doing something good, something giving benefit to some disabled people or older people. People have not seen the potential of this sector, its market potential, its possibilities of opening new market, new economy, new jobs. So all this needs a very collaborative effort, and that's where GATO can play a major role as a game changer and unifying force. And that's what WHO wants to see GATO playing that role, especially helping us where there is no AT experts are available, but the need is there. So how we can meet the need with your support. And that's what I look at GATO and all its member societies to help us to reach to the unreached. As SDG said, no one should be left behind. It should not be a slogan. You have to really ensure that no one is really left behind. And that's what we need to work together. Thank you.